I'm Rob, and I'm a recovering gambling addict. Made my last bet November the 12th of 2022, and today I want to react to this video about celebrities who are addicted to gambling. I want to give you the insights as someone who is a gambling addict in recovery so that you can understand what's going on in their minds. Why didn't they just stop gambling? If at any point during this video you hear something that you can relate to, I want you to hit that subscribe button and join this community. I'm working hard every single day to spread the message that gambling addiction is real, but so is recovery.
Gambling.
Well, winning. It's exciting to win money.
Sure.
Is that what? Is it the winning that you?
Yeah, it's the
like?
winning.
Okay.
You know, people out here, I hear all these people talk about you just like the action. No, I like the money, actually. And it always sucks when you lose, but it's a great feeling when you win.
What's interesting about like Charles Barkley is he's already making tens of millions of dollars a year from, sportscasting or whatever you want to call the show that they did on TNT that just moved. And then he's made millions of dollars from brand deals, from actually playing basketball. I don't think he needs the money. I guess maybe it's something like there's never enough money, but maybe it's a form of denial here. I don't know. It's hard to diagnose and say because we're not in his mind, but I would have said something like that. And I needed the money.
I changed my mentality. I'm not trying to win a lot. I'm just trying to win.
Oh, that's bargaining. So he's saying like, oh, it's fine. I'll just try to bet less. I'll try to win less. It's fine. Like, I just need to be able to keep going. That's what someone who's addicted to gambling would say to justify continuing, even though they've been through a lot of crap as a result of it. Chuck, it's not looking good, man.
You know, Graham, I've won $1 million probably 4 or 5 times. Well, I won $1 million
In a single day.
in a single day. But I've lost a lot more millions in a single day.
How many times do you think you've lost $1 million in a single day?
At least 10 to 15, somewhere in there. And like I say, I probably only won $1 million 5 or 6 times.
Jeez.
But I've lost $1 million, somewhere between 10 and 20. I can't get an exact number because we're going back to the
Keeps going up.
80s.
Charles Barkley, well-known figure, been gambling. Says he's won $1 million on 4 or 5 occasions. That's what he points to, and he remembers it really well, but has a hazy memory when it comes to the 10 to possibly 20 times that he's lost over $1 million in a day gambling. I think it's clear as day he's got a problem, but the thing is, people think that if you're rich, you can afford your problem, right? It doesn't matter. He's got millions of dollars to blow. It's fine. I just hope that it's not causing damage to him behind the scenes. Though I have seen him partner up with a certain casino and now is promoting gambling himself. It's a sick world, to be honest. But I still have empathy for anyone who's going through it, and it seems like he's probably going through it and just keeping it on wraps.
Back at it, this time getting his gamble on in Motor City Casino in Detroit. So you remember that a while back he was banned for life from the Hard Rock Casino in Vegas for counting cards. Well,
And you have to wonder, why does someone that's making so much money from their acting need to count cards at a casino? It's not about the money, guys. It's about the rush, the thrill that it's giving them.
he's been in Detroit recently filming the Batman vs. Superman movie, and so looks like we know what he's doing on his spare time.
But that's so interesting because Ben Affleck says, yeah, I count cards. I do it. I do it in blackjack. There's nothing illegal about it. I do it. So knowing that, the Detroit casino lets him in and lets him gamble and lets him gamble big.
Oh, there's 2 people, though, who have an eye on him, though, just in case he gets a little tricky.
Yeah, but he said, I count cards.
But it is illegal.
No, it's not illegal. It's not illegal.
It's against the rule in the casino, not against the law. Hard cheating, right?
They don't want anyone
It
to
is cheating. If it breaks the rules of the house, that is cheating.
It's not
cheating. He was cheating.
You don't gamble, you're wrong.
I'm not a gambler. Are you out of your mind? I have lost more money than you will ever make in your life at casinos.
That's a weird gambler brag. I know, like, this particular segment's supposed to be about Ben Affleck, but, like, gamblers like, I lost more than you. I lost more than you. I'm a bigger D-gen. Like, these are the kinds of badges of honor that people with gambling problems will hide behind, and it's, like, comedy, right? It's like, oh, like, I'm the biggest loser kind of thing. I think it's cope to a certain extent. And, of course, it's TMZ. It's entertainment. I'm probably sounding like a narc because I'm saying all this, but I'm trying to read into it, right? I'm trying to say, who has a gambling problem? What does a gambling problem look like? And it looks like that. It looks like defending your losses with comedy. It looks like not being willing to stop gambling even though you have the tabloids covering you about how you're cheating in the casinos. I wonder what his PR agent thought of this.
The Shohei Ohtani gambling story could get very ugly very quickly. If the MLB upholds their collective bargaining agreement, Ohtani will be suspended immediately. There's nothing like a scandal to open up a $700 million contract. Ohtani's longtime friend...
Let's be real though, like, they're not going to do anything that jeopardizes their bottom line, and banning Ohtani or suspending Ohtani would absolutely accomplish that. He's not going anywhere. Like, someone's going to be the scapegoat. As of now, it's the interpreter. But we'll see how it goes.
And an interpreter, Ippei Mitsuhara, admitted to wiring at least $4.5 million to a Californian bookie. Now, it's hard to believe, but Mitsuhara claimed he thought it was legal as long as he didn't bet on baseball. Of course, he couldn't pay his debt, so he told Ohtani, who wins the Friend of the Year award here, by personally sending millions of dollars in wire transfers from his own account to the bookie. Unfortunately, the Friendship Award doesn't mean much to the MLB. Ohtani's team figured that one out the hard way. Just as the story was about to break, Ohtani and Mitsuhara got their story straight. It was a helpful act, and Shohei never bet on games. Fast forward just hours later, and they did a complete 180. Now they're refusing to say Ohtani was being helpful and calling it a massive theft. Somebody inside the Dodgers or Ohtani's camp realized that money being wired to a bookie warrants an immediate suspension by MLB standards. This is worst case scenario for Mitsuhara. He's done with the Dodgers, who are paying him $500K a year, and he's likely to face criminal charges for wire fraud and embezzlement. It's also the perfect example of star treatment. The MLB is heavily invested in Ohtani. If it were any other player, they'd immediately open up an investigation, but even with the ridiculous story change, that's not happening here.
Yeah, there's no way anything happens to Ohtani. I mean, I think this video is from a couple months back. It's from Frank Michael Smith. I know him. He makes good content. I think that if we're going to be honest, it's pretty obvious Ohtani was gambling. Does that mean he has a gambling addiction? No, it just means maybe he wanted to gamble. And the interpreter, maybe he was gambling as well, but he definitely became the scapegoat in the situation. But there's a clear double standard with the professional leagues about gambling, right? Players are not allowed to gamble on anything at all. It creates a conflict of interest. Anything at all within the league is a good thing. You know, there's leagues that'll just say, like, oh, if a player's gambling, we're going to keep an eye on that. But the leagues are making billions and billions of dollars from allowing gambling to happen on the games. The players are being compensated, yes, and it should be that if you're making hundreds of millions of dollars a year, you wouldn't need or want to gamble. But it's clear that even if you're making $700 million a year, you could allegedly have a gambling problem.
I'm not saying I believe Ohtani is guilty of anything other than being an elite friend, but if the MLB decides to uphold their CBA,
they didn't.
It could get extremely sticky for Shohei. I'm Frank Michael Smith, and that's my take.
Michael Jordan. I don't ever want to meet him.
Here we go. MJ's the guy that everyone points to as having a gambling problem. He says it was a competition problem.
I mean, Michael gambles on everything.
Do you have a gambling problem?
No, I enjoy it. It's a hobby. He was told to leave the NBA around the time that his father got married because stories were about to come out that because of Michael's gambling habit, his father paid the price. And the NBA didn't want the press, so they asked him to leave for a while. And that's when he went to play baseball.
You love gambling.
I do.
What's the biggest loss?
$3 million. All these nights that I play are little battles inside the war that I will fight in 24.
Did gambling destroy Jordan's career?
MJ and Dana White, I believe, are both billionaires. MJ definitely. Dana White's borderline. It doesn't matter how much money you have. And he's calling it a hobby. MJ's saying, oh, it's a hobby, man. It's not an addiction. Because you got to downplay it, right? Because there's so much stigma about a gambling addiction. If you're deemed a gambling addict, that means something's wrong with you. And realistically, it means something needs to change about what you're doing. It doesn't mean that you have a permanent character defect. Even if you're the greatest basketball player of all time, I know LeBron's fans are going to argue that or whatever, but you know, one of the two greatest basketball players of all time with a multi-million-dollar into billion-dollar net worth, and you have all of these things, all these assets, still feeling like you need to gamble, it's not about the money at all. That's what I want to express with the celebrities video. None of this is about the money, Dana White included. It's about staying in action, being this big shot, being someone that stays and keeps risking and keeps feeling this excitement, this intense thrill. Doesn't matter about the money. And again, you're going to say, it's fine, they can afford it. It's not about affording it. A gambling addiction is not measured by how much you lose. A gambling addiction is measured by what kind of damage it does in your life. And we'll never know because it's all happening behind the scenes.
I was watching them bet $60,000 a hand. I was like, this is wild.
But when I go and I play like $5 hands with my buddies and stuff, but whenever friends leave and stuff, I want to play like $40,000.
That's a big jump, Post. $5 to 40. That's a big trend, actually, is like when a problem gambler enters an isolation period where they're not around other people, they can get away with it, so to speak, the bets go up. And that's exactly what we're seeing here.
Because it's so hard to get excited
about $5. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how they
baseline change
get you. They really play to that ego, and they're like, oh, you're hot shit. Okay, come play. Come play. We would love to play with you. And then whenever you win that, that rush is like fucking nothing else.
That's what you remember, not the losses. You always remember the wins and not the losses. Hopefully he doesn't go too far down that path. But, I mean, even like I wasn't betting $40,000, and don't get me wrong, but going from 5 to 100 maybe, you can't go back down to 5. Doesn't feel anything. You're like, why even do this bet? In Gamblers Anonymous, my sponsor says that gambling responsibly would be like kissing your sister. I don't have a sister, nor would I kiss her if I had one, but it's a metaphor. Basically saying it doesn't do anything for you. And that's exactly how it feels when you're going back down to lower stakes in gambling, as a gambling addict at least. All right, we got Charlie Sheen now.
$150 million.
Jeez.
Overnight, Charlie Sheen was on top of the world. The star of the highest paid sitcom, Hollywood's Rebel, a face earning nearly $2 million per episode.
Jeez.
He had it all: money, fame, women, but also vices. Alcohol, drugs, and gambling.
Yeah.
In Los Angeles, there's a casino most people have never heard of. No signs, no ads, just invitations for elite guests. Charlie was a VIP there for years. Private tables, whiskey older than his movies, $500,000 bets.
Oh, James
To
Bond
him,
type
it was
place.
all just a game. It started with tens of thousands, then hundreds, then millions. Sometimes he would lose
It
an
scales.
entire episode's paycheck in one night and come back the next day to play again.
Wow.
To win it back, security guards say they would often see him sitting alone in silence, with a blank stare, like he no longer even knew why he was playing.
He has to translate
According
state.
to estimates, over just a few years in that casino, and several other private ones across LA and Vegas, Charlie Sheen gambled away as much as $150 million.
And that's a staggering headline. I have no idea how much money he actually had, as to what percentage of his net worth that was, as to how much damage that was doing on a daily basis to his life, but it's a big headline number, right? And it gets people interested. Needs more action, needs more rush. Drugs, alcohol, gambling. There's never a satisfaction to it. It's just temporary little highs, little blips. And then you need more, and go again and again and again and again, and it never ends until you crash out. Which I believe he had a public crash out. Hopefully he's doing okay. It feels weird, right? Like saying, hopefully this guy's doing okay, and it's some guy that makes like $100 million a year. It's a professional athlete and actor, but we're all people at the end of the day. And you just hate the idea that anyone could be struggling, you know? I know what it feels like, and the numbers are always relative. 150 million to him, maybe it's 150,000, does the same damage to me. But either way, it sucks to see addiction happening.
You understand, you watch ESPN, everything
Pete
about
Rose.
gambling. Picking the games after the 5th inning, if you want to rebet, stuff like that. But it was a no-no when I did it.
Yeah, because you did it on yourself, I think.
We live in a gambling society today.
Yeah, we do.
I think you'll agree with that. And it's not going to change. It's going to get bigger and bigger. It's not going to get less.
I don't think so either.
And I'm not advocating players that bet on baseball.
I mean, Pete Rose was way ahead of his time in terms of doing bad stuff about gambling as a professional athlete. But he's right. I think we're going to see more and more of it as time goes on. Gambling's absolutely becoming an epidemic in our country. Whether you're someone betting your last $5 or you're the star athlete on your team betting hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, can impact anyone.
Singer Bruno Mars has allegedly racked up $50 million in debt during his 9-year Las Vegas residency with MGM casinos. Bruno has reportedly been paying off his debts directly to the casino, according to News Nation. A source has said they are a well-placed Vegas insider, adding he owes millions. MGM basically owns him. After paying off his debts and taxes, he takes home $1.5 million per night. However, MGM recently came out in a recent interview with TMZ and said MGM and Bruno's partnership is rooted in mutual respect. Any speculation otherwise is completely false. He has no debt with MGM. This is not the first time Bruno has faced struggles this year.
I mean, you never really know what the truth is, right? And if it is true that he's owing money to the casino, he's still taking home $1.5 million. It's tough to feel the empathy there. But again, it's that numbers creating the bias, even in myself as I'm reacting to this. If it is true that he owes money to this casino, he must feel completely trapped. Like he can't leave, he can't stop doing it. He's on an endless hamster wheel. And my guess is, if that is the case, he wouldn't stop gambling anyway. Endless hamster wheels can exist for anyone. Even if you're a celebrity making millions of dollars a night. It really is just an insane addiction. But if you're struggling, I want you to know that there's help out there. And there's help right here. check out this video next where I lay out exactly how I quit gambling, and let's keep getting better together, one day at a time.